So today I had an epiphany. I was just scrolling through YouTube as one does, and then I happened to see this monstrosity. This video is mainly just based off not doing any research and it just comes off as racist. And he mainly just keeps saying that Hazel is just, well, you know, a race swap version of Timmy Turner, even though that's not true. And this is coming from someone that hasn't even watched the show. But I'm not going to spoil it too much. Let's get into the video, shall we? Also, there are points he makes that are either relevant to the topic he's talking about or just not that important. So I'm going to be skipping those scenes because, well, they're not that important.
I was scrolling mindlessly through my phone as one does, and I came across this monstrosity, the Fairly Odd Parents reboot, and it was just as bad as I expected it to be.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Mindless drivel plot lines, flashy art style, and an overt unfaithfulness to the source material.
Would you mind elaborating? Not that I care too much about Fairly Odd Parents, nor the sequel series, because, well, yeah, fun fact, this is a sequel series, not a reboot, dumbass.
Whether it's animated or live action, movie or TV show. And if this were just a one-off thing in media, I probably wouldn't be making this video. But this is a repeated cancer that is spreading to more and more properties, and is only destructive in nature. And so I gotta take the mantle and expose just what makes these properties so inherently bad. Let's go.
The only thing you expose is your stupidity and your racism.
And it was the Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10 reboot, Rise of TMNT.
What? Okay, first of all, Rise slaps, so fuck you, cry about it. Second of all, didn't that show have like a big fan base?
Original vision. Starting off with the fact that the original creators don't want this kind of stuff, almost ever. We've all heard of how Steven Hillenburg never really wanted a reboot of SpongeBob, but ever since his late passing, Nick has capitalized on 2 already.
Oh my god, if you lie about this man's death again, I'm going to fucking slap you in Minecraft. First of all, the creator of SpongeBob did not say he did not want a SpongeBob remake or a sequel series, because he just said he didn't see it happening, considering that SpongeBob wasn't popular at the time. Fucking idiot, do your damn research.
Both thankfully pulling in little to no ratings. When a reboot is properly wanted by the creators, it usually does quite well, and actually delivers true to the vision. But when it doesn't, it's just a floundering attempt to show what was good and unique and cash in on someone else's creation. Let's give it bright, saturated animation to the point where kids get a corneal ulcer. Why not? Kids like colors, right?
What is exactly the issue with bright and colorful animation?
I feel like everything I'm saying only relates to reboots post-2010, because prior to that, most reiterations weren't like this. Most were better than the originals, and actually kept gritty tones with cool brooding art styles. Now it's just a rainbow contest to see which show is brighter than the rest. Maybe that'll keep the kiddies in their seats a little longer. Let's make all the characters flanderized and dumb while we're at it. Kids connect to dumb people more, right? It also gives us a cheap way of actually creating humor. Stupid people are funny.
Yeah, I agree, stupid people are funny. Like you.
These modern reboots just go back to square one while ignoring all the story arcs that preceded them, with a cheap-looking animation style and much shallower characters.
Which is what a reboot is, you fucking idiot.
And they expect folks to be all on board and excited when they announce one. Don't forget to force memes and trends, disgusting imagery, and weird detailed faces. They'll often dish the grand arcs and storylines for a slice-of-life episodic show, bereft of any substance or long-term stakes. And look, I've made a whole different video explaining how being more mature or focused on story doesn't necessarily make a show better.
I agree to a certain extent.
That video gives a lot more nuance than I'm frankly giving here, but listen, part of a reboot is a fan service that you never really have to deliver to the original fans of the old property. You can't just say you're delivering something new for the current generation while abandoning the people who made your franchise what it is by watching all those years ago. Don't ruin our childhoods for your own creative laziness.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing people say, my childhood was ruined. It's like, my guy, your childhood is still there. The originals are still there. You can go back and watch those if you don't like the reboot.
I mean, no one wants to talk about it, but the current bandwagon is the whole race swapping thing that they'll have to do with animated characters. April O'Neil, Timmy Turner.
If I'm going to be as fair as possible, I did not watch the show either, but hey, you wanna know what I did that this guy didn't do? Research. Hazel is not a race swap or gender swap version of Timmy Turner. This guy is so retarded, it's insane.
When everything is racial, that's the only thing I can see when watching. I never saw Blade as a black character.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Or Cyborg.
So he's calling you a terrible name. And you know that if you punch him out, it'll just confirm all the bad stuff he thinks about you.
Yes. You know what it feels like to be judged simply because of how you look?
Of course I do. I'm part robot.
Gerald, the Static Shock.
That's not the name of the character. His name is Static. that Static Shock is just the name of the show. Also, you don't see Static Virgil as a black character? Didn't one of the episodes like tackle racism with Richie's dad? I mean, I never watched the show, but I did my research.
A lot of my favorite characters are people of various ethnicities and racial tones.
Why on God's green earth are you using Uncle Ruckus as an example of one of your favorite characters? What? Alright, just to be clear, if you like Uncle Ruckus for, like, hilarious reasons, then that's fine, but this guy has said some very questionable stuff recently. And I think Uncle Ruckus being his favorite black character might explain why.
The black female Timmy Turner is clearly just a cheap attempt to reboot this property without any other significant pitches for change. I mean, for the diversity folks, there must be a point where this hurts the cause more than it helps it.
Fun fact, there used to be a clip here that everyone got mad at him for, but he got rid of the clip. But hey, fun fact, somebody already recorded the clip, so I'll show it off here.
This video isn't just about the new race swapping phenomenon, but it's an extremely prevalent symptom of a larger issue, which ties into the lack of respect for staying faithful to the original property. Maybe Butch Hartman wants Timmy to be race and gender swapped, which is why he has absolutely no direct involvement in the creative department of the project. I find that unlikely. It's absolutely insulting to ruin a person's original vision of a character just because people want to see themselves on screen.
Does anybody even know what the original vision was? Because I don't think Butch Hartman even knows. Also, Butch Hartman was alright with the sequel series.
These people are too uncreative to create their own original stories, so they need to ruin existing stuff to be able to call themselves inclusive and hip with.
Goodbye, sir. I will not even dignify that argument with a response.
I mean, watch a single episode of Rise, A New Wish, Patrick Star, or Camp Coral, and you'll see that.
I'm not interested in the Fairly Odd Parents sequel, but I watched one episode of Rise and I fucking love it, so cry about it.
For example, I just despise seeing a person's work be disrespected when they likely sacrificed like hell to turn into a.
I swear if you keep talking for dead people, I will fucking go back in time, make your mother get an abortion so that you wouldn't be born.
Reality. And some studio exec can just demand a reboot of it for ratings and completely change the original character into something just to appeal to the bandwagon. In live action, you could claim that the actor's audition and skill level determine who gets the role, and that would be fair, but it's totally different with an animated character made of pixels, although even that's under question these days when the new Snow White or Ariel can't even sing but are preferred over tons of other actors.
Say whatever you want about the live action remake of Little Mermaid, but I'm pretty sure that women can sing beautifully.
I don't know, am I crazy?
You're not only crazy, yes, but you are the definition, the embodiment of retardation.
I feel like I'm living in the Emperor's New Clothes. People just disagree with this because it's the right thing to say or whatever, but most people would probably agree with these common sense points deep down. When a character is good, race shouldn't matter.
Apparently, race does matter to you, because whenever somebody does create an original character, you still bitch and whine about it.
It's all so stupid. Anyway, can't wait to see a Static Shock or Spawn movie, and while they're at it, it wouldn't hurt to race swap one more movie, would it?
Wanna know what I think?
Oh my god, young man. Kill yourself!